He was building the church itself. And these constructions were going on fast. It's like his dream. Something that can beat the Gothic temples in Europe.
Everybody worked to build this massive structure. TB Joshua was trying to create his own empire. Behind the scenes, you've got a workforce with no pay. We were a machine around him.
He wouldn't have been able to do it without all the disciples.
TB Joshua asked me to find virgins for him.
Wow. The late TB Joshua was one of the biggest and most loved pastors in Nigeria. But just as he was loved, he was also very controversial. And it is not surprising that this BBC documentary on him is going to shock people to the core. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Please be kind enough to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. If you love this video, please also give it a thumbs up and share. Now let's get straight into the gist. It's obvious 2024 is not going to be an ordinary year at all. We rang in the year with controversies, but we weren't ready for this one that just dropped. Known for his generosity, Prophet TB Joshua was a portrayed himself to be a very kind man. I won't deny the fact that TB Joshua was very controversial when he was alive though. His church was known as the go-to place where you get deliverance and receive miracles. While some people believed the miracles performed in his church were fake, others believed he was real. And this attracted so many people to his church, including celebrities from gRape, whose deliverance tape I'm not going to show here because personally, I don't think people should be shown when they are very, very vulnerable. You know, I don't like outing people in their vulnerable states. Yes, gRape was one of them. Then the alleged healing. I remember I saw a tape of the alleged healing of a football player, Angel Gomez. I think he was a Manchester football player back in the day. These celebrities and so many other people are believed to have gotten their deliverance and healings while they attended his church.
My name's Angel Gomez. I'm from Manchester. I'm 16. I play for Manchester United Football Club. And I've been struggling really with injuries. I was having injuries around my hip and groin, which was affecting me playing, and also I suffered an ankle injury not long ago, which was affecting me playing and kept me out for a long time. These injuries were coming at hard times for me, times when I was having a breakthrough or times when I had to go to a tournament or playing games. These injuries would happen quite frequent. As well as playing for Man United, I also represent England national team at under 17 level as captain. I've knew about the Synagogue Church of Nations for a long time, as my family follow TB Joshua the Prophet. My parents are big fans and we always watch videos, so we thought it'd be a good time and a good chance for me to come and be touched by the Prophet. I've just felt something inside me, like a little shock, and I was surprised, and I can't really describe how I felt. It just all got to me now, really.
Hallelujah. Let's put our hands together for Jesus Christ. So we thank God for the life of our brother. And what is your word of advice to people around the world now that you've come here yourself, experienced God's power? What is your word of advice?
Just don't doubt what you're feeling inside. Just go with your heart, really, and have faith. And when you need someone to look up to, just look to God and just have faith and be proud.
Joshua was also known for his acts of charity. He's one of the few Christian leaders in Nigeria who openly gave to the needy, the poor and the vulnerable in society. His humility was second to none, as he is believed to have been very, very meek and humble. Unfortunately, this BBC interview has shown Prophet TB Joshua in a different light. From allegations of DV, of course you people know what DV means, I can't say the full meaning because of YouTube, to intimidation, manipulation and even gRape. I won't deny, I was shocked at some of the allegations. Perhaps the most shocking person who was interviewed is his daughter. According to her story, immediately she heard some of the atrocities that her father was allegedly committing, she confronted him. But boy, she wasn't prepared for what the reaction she got from her father. I won't lie, if these allegations are true, this interview revealed a high level of misogyny and maltreatment of people, especially women, in his church. TB Joshua was so popular that it is alleged that over 60% of foreigners who came into Nigeria when he was alive were coming because of his church. They just came to Nigeria to go straight to his church. That was their aim of coming into Nigeria. I'm going to show excerpts from the interview. If you want to watch the full interview, click in the link in the description below. Now let's get into it. The alleged gRape.
Think me that I'm your father and I'm delivering you. We went into his room and I stood there and he said, off your clothes. So I removed my clothes and then he just pointed. So I lied down and then I was screaming and he was whispering in my ear that you should stop acting like a baby. Better shut up. You want to make noise? You want people to hear? I felt like there was a beast, like this beast. I was 17 years old. I was underage.
When he come back from the service, he kept forcing himself on me. He assured me God was not upset. The more I made him happy, God will be happy with me.
Women were allegedly made to do away with pregnancies.
I never had a choice whether I could keep a potential child or not. I felt like I didn't own my body.
You know it. You skip your first period, you skip your second period, and you have to talk. It would all done in secrecy. You'd be taken by one of these elder moms to this clinic of his.
It can't be counted. They started doing it inside the synagogue. There's a place they call medical department.
We went out through the back door of his office. We went downstairs.
There's an area that visitors would never see. You're given a concoction to drink, you get sick, or they put these metal pieces in your vagina and they extract whatever, and you don't know whether they're pulling out your womb or something's going wrong.
Allegations of occultism.
It's our duty to make sure that we own a certain incense there. If he's going to enter there, that place must be filled with smoke.
We do normally have our meetings in the night. You trust me with the assignment he's giving me.
It's just candles everywhere, pictures.
All the disciples' pictures, we pour it on the floor. His own picture is not there. His wife's picture is not there. It's only the disciples.
He will wear a red garment, plain red. The garment is long down to his ankle. And he will hold a sword in his hand. Those pictures, he will place the sword directly on the face. It will be pierced through and it will be pinned down there.
They are in bondage, spiritually and physically. This is what you have done to people.
You just move around this prayer room and you move in an anti-clockwise way.
Holding the sword, going around. Oh Lord, forgive us. Oh Lord, forgive us. Oh Lord, forgive us. Have mercy on us. Have mercy on us.
I've never seen this kind of thing before. Everything about this prayer room is photos. People's photo. And I can tell you, they are mostly ladies.
What he did.
His reaction to his daughter challenging him over the rumors.
They were away, they were going away for hours. I was hearing things. Oh, this happened to me. Oh, he tried sleeping with me. too many people were saying the same thing. Accounts firsthand of people who had experienced sexual abuse.
She got to know who he was, and she could not manage it quietly. She escalated it.
I couldn't take it anymore. I walked directly into his office and I went off. I shouted at the top of my voice, "Why are you doing all of this? Why are you hurting all of these women? You're using this woman. You're sleeping with these women." I had lost every iota of fear for this man. He was shocked. He was beyond shocked and he couldn't hide it. He tried to, stare me down. Why? I was looking at his eyes.
He got stirred up, claiming innocence to the disciples. When he's angry, it's like he can kill. He was the first person that started hitting her, then other people joined. He was saying, "Can you imagine what he's saying about me?" Even as much as they were hitting her, beating her, she was still saying the same thing she was saying. "You are having an affair with all these women here." She said it plainly to him.
Disciples dragged me out of the office. I was put in a room totally isolated from the rest of the church.
He would lock her up in a room for months. I'm not telling you weeks, months.
Every day the beatings were not ceasing. Eventually, this disciple escorted me to the front of the church gate and then just left me there. I found myself homeless.
The securities of the church, he has given them instruction. This girl should never come close to the gate. He doesn't want to even hear that she existed.
I had nobody to reach out to. No one would believe me. Nothing prepared me for that life.
She was sent on the street as a beggar, and her dad is a multi-millionaire. And this is the same person that will come out on TV doing charity, giving people bag of rice. You know how it is to survive in the street of Lagos? It was as good as she was given a death sentence. He never loved people. He never cared for people. He was just an opportunist feeding on vulnerable young people.
He was building the church itself. In these constructions were going on fast. It's like his dream. Something that can beat the Gothic temples in Europe.
Everybody worked to build this massive structure. TB Joshua was trying to create his own empire. Behind the scenes, you've got a workforce with no pay. We were a machine around him.
He wouldn't have been able to do it without all the disciples. But we did the actual work,
He had a grand plan. Not all disciples knew what was happening. It was a secret. He told me personally, when he remembered what these white people did to our forefathers, that it hurt him. That whatever it will take him, he said the whites, that he will bring them here. He will make sure that he will enslave them, that they will serve him.
I was there in that meeting. He wants to use white people to be his slaves. Westerners, they enslaved his forefathers. So he himself now will enslave them. He said it loud and clear.
That was one of the motivational factors in him. He said, Agomo, that's, I will teach them lessons. I will show them.
TB Joshua wanted to write history for himself. He wanted them to serve him. He wanted to rule over them.
And my brother, he did it. A disciple of TB Joshua is a slave to TB Joshua.
I was a disciple of TB Joshua for 10 years, from 2001 to 2010.
I stayed in that place till 2013. So was that 12, 13 years that I was there, in Lagos?
I was 16 or maybe even 15 when I first visited, and then I stayed for 14 years.
Now, there's this theory going around that Prophet TB Joshua may have unalived himself. This is because of the suspicious way his death came. The story has it that he gave a sermon that day, went into his room, and the next thing people heard was that he had passed on. Now, what even makes it more suspicious is the fact that the first set of interviews started a few days before he died. Could it be that he got wind of the impending, I don't want to use the word shame, disgrace. Okay, could it be that he got wind of what was to come? The international scrutiny he was going to face, because I hear Interpol and the rest were going to get involved. Secondly, this sermon he gave, which I'm going to play after this my commentary, the sermon he gave talked about life and living a righteous life and death, and it's all too suspicious. The whole circumstance of his last days and this documentary, the revelations, what people have seen and what people know now, are leading so many people. There's this theory flying around now that Prophet TB Joshua may not have died in natural deaths, that maybe he ended it himself. Well, the truth is that we may never know, may never find out what exactly happened. I must confess, these allegations are shocking, but some people are asking, why now? How come it wasn't released when he was alive? It is pertinent to note, though, that according to BBC, the interview started while he was still alive. Oh well, what do you guys think about it?
Get ready for the thing we are not ready for. Trust and obey. There's no other way to be happy in Jesus. Trust and obey. Continue to trust in the Lord is the only way to get ready for the thing we are not ready for. The question you need to ask yourself, are you living each day as if it were your last? That is the question. Are you living each day as if it were your last? How are you using your life? I mean, how are you spending your life?